Hey Star Wars Armada fans, it's Karnak with yet another video for you. It's your buddy and your pal. We're going to look over Corvus. So Corvus is the new tile for the Raider from Rebellion in the Rim. And if you can't tell already, it equips to the Raider, but you can tell by the icon there in the bottom left-hand corner that that's where it goes. Awesome, picture of the ship here, the card. I think it looks really cool. The Corvus is faction specific for the Empire, which you can see there next to its point cost, which is 2. Corvus does have a little dot or bullet point in front of its name, signifies it is unique. You can only have one of them in your fleet. It reads, after deploying fleets, you may redeploy this ship within your deployment zone. So, let's do short and simple and how this works, and then we'll break down a couple of the wordings here. So remember, the entire 3x6 mat is the play area, and your deployment zone is within the setup area, which is these two vertical lines. So this is the setup area, and your deployment zone is this area down here at the bottom. And then that first horizontal line marks where your deployment zone ends and where your ships can't extend out past that area. Okay, so Corvus. So the what's great about Corvus is, say it's you deploy it and you put it down in the middle, and then you're like, oh no, that was a mistake, because now maybe somebody drops like a really big ship right in front of it, and they're going to try to catch your Raider and blow it up. What's great about Corvus is that in the after deploying fleets part of setup, you can pick up Corvus and redeploy it. Excuse me, in your deployment zone. So you've put it down, all the other ships and squadrons have gone down, and then you're like, you know what, it's in a bad place, bad situation. I'm going to pick it up, I'm going to redeploy it over here. And when you do redeploy it, you can readjust its speed. So if you had deployed it initially at speed 2, for example, you could pick it up and be like, you know what, I don't want it right here, I want it way off on a flank, and now I want to go in speed 4 so it can come screaming in on a flank somewhere. That's what's great about Corvus, and kind of addresses one of the main issues that the Raider has, is you would put it down, and then big stuff that could just blow it up from long range, or squadrons knew exactly where it was, and then they could just kind of murder it and take it out. With this redeploying mechanic, it now can move around and be in the best, most perfect position that you can put it in to really do some damage, whether that be taking it as a mini gunboat with HIEs and disposable decaps. If you want to buff up its survivability with the new Id Inversio card. Some people will take the Vic-1 with X-Rax and Darth Vader boarding teams. That way it's really able to strip off an important card and then punch something in. Lots of cool and interesting mechanics that are going to go into Raider play. I think we are definitely going to see a few more Raiders on the table. That being said, it is still a Raider, and it will die to large concentrated dice pools. So you want to try to keep them in areas where they're not going to try to get hit by something like that as much. Let's talk about timing for this card. So for deployment, so after all the obstacles are on the table, we'll just throw down the standard obstacles on the table. Boom, boom, boom. Something like that. So after obstacles are done being placed by the players, you now enter into the deployment phase. You have before deploying, while deploying, and after deploying are all 3 separate timing triggers that can happen for deploying ships. Before deploying is pretty straight to the point. Before any ships deploy, if you have any timing triggers or something's going on, make sure to resolve that timing first. Then you have while deploying fleets. So you deploy ships and squadrons and things as normal. And then you have the after deployment timing, which is something like Bale or Price or Grand Admiral Thrawn. You have a couple of cards that share that timing, which is at all the deploying is done, and now you do these additional card effects. Corvus falls firmly in the after deploying fleet section, meaning that if you are first player and you have Corvus, you do resolve all of your timing steps first, such as if you do have Price, or if you have Grand Admiral Thrawn, you can choose the order in which you do these things, but you have to do all those first before the second player does any of his after deploying fleets. For example, if they also have Corvus or Price or etc. So again, first player does all of his stuff first, and then the second player does all of his timing effects after the first player. Some players make the mistake of, oh, I do this one thing, and now you do the one thing, and then I do the one thing, and then you do the one thing, and that's not how the game is played. Again, first player resolves all the shared timings first, followed by the second player. Okay. The reason why I'm being so specific about this, and for Corvus, is that there is a new objective in Rebellion of the Rim where it involves the flagship being deployed outside of the deployment area normally, and that objective is for surprise attack. So surprise attack says, while deploying fleets, the first player must deploy their flagship before deploying any other ships. So the first thing right off the bat is, your ship has to be overlapping the station. Boom. Yeah, it says right here, their flagship must overlap the station even if the flagship extends beyond their deployment zone. The first player cannot deploy any ship at a speed greater than half of that ship's maximum speed, rounded up. So not only is the first player, your flagship has to deploy on this station, and it can only do it at half its normal speed. So if it goes speed 3 or speed 4, it can only go speed 2. If it's going speed 2, it can only go speed 1. So, your raider is now stuck out where it can get shot and blown up, and it's in a very bad position, potentially. I mean, you could always turn it around and 360 it and have it run away, but then one of your combat ships is running away from the battle, and it takes time for them to turn back around. And again, the rest of your ships in your fleet are all have their speeds halved as well, so they can't chase after and help out as much. They definitely still can. Nav commands are a thing, but it definitely it is a disadvantage to first player. And then not only that, for that, and then after deploying fleets, the second player places 3 face down command dials in a stack on this card, and it gives him the ability to put raid on all of your ships. So the great thing about Corvus is, again, look at the timing. Surprise attack says while deploying fleets, all this stuff is going on. So all that stuff that just happened, well, now you're Corvus, and now you're in the after deploying fleets part. So now you can pick up and move Corvus, and not only that, you can now adjust Corvus to any speed that you want. Now again, that's only if your commander is on Corvus as your flagship. But if Corvus is otherwise in this objective and he doesn't have the commander, yes, you can pick it back up and redeploy it and change its speed from the 2 back up to 4. Because again, its timing is after while deploying fleets. It is in the after deploying fleets. Again, 2 separate distinct timing windows. And again, the Corvus, so even if you originally had deployed Corvus on the station for surprise attack, when you do redeploy, as it says here, may redeploy the ship within your deployment zone. So it still needs to go back into your deployment area. It can't be back out here or anywhere that you want it to be, because it does specify you can deploy it within your deployment zone. Perfect. So that's Corvus. There is no FAQ, there's no errata, there's no other huge or crazy things going on that I'm aware of. That interaction with it and surprise attack is about the only thing that I've come across. But of course, if you have any questions, or if you feel like I missed anything, please be sure to point it out. Let me know. Thank you guys so much for watching, and I'll catch you all next time.